welcome back to Adobe Live with me, pixipui, in the Pro Tips Corner, where we teach cool little something in the Pro section for 30 minutes. And I do have something that I feel is quite relevant-ish today. I feel like all the tracking related stuff, motion tracking, all that kind of jazz might be kind of handy. I don't know, maybe you want to get your Minority Report on, something like that. So we're going to delve into that today. Plus, because I like splitting things up in steps, for those of you that like watching this back as a VOD, you'll be able to pause the video at separate steps. We only have two. It's not too long, this one. And you'll be able to go grab your stuff and then follow along afterwards. But to the chat on the Behance side, hello, Penny, either a Jess, Oliver, Robert, lovely to see you lots. I do have some questions for you. And Oliver, there's no purple this time. No purple, but I do need a shape. I need a shape because I haven't made anything that we could stick on the things that we want to be tracked. So think of a shape, and when we get to it in step one, we'll see what we can do. But first things first, let's look at what we're actually doing today. We're motion tracking. Yes. Mainly focusing on the position-based motion tracking. And as always, you should try your stuff on a small project first. This way, when you are working on something, and this is quite universal here, when you are working on something and maybe it's too big of a project, you might end up stressing yourself out, or maybe it takes a really long time to render. So try get a small clip or thing first. So for this instance, I recommend that you have, like, if you're definitely just trying it out, maybe a 5-second clip, just so you can check that it's doing what you'd like it to do. Hi, Storm. Star. Circle. Hey, we can have both of them. A circle and a star. Sounds good to me. Oh, and before we get started, here you'd want to have your After Effects open. If you haven't already, go up to edit, go down to purge all the cache. Apparently I have 28 gigabytes. Purge the cache, please. That way you shouldn't have any problems when we get started. Okay, a rhombus. Okay, at first I was like, somebody gonna say a dodecahedron. If anyone, it would be Oliver. What shape is a rhombus? Or are we thinking like a Roomba? No, it's not the same. Okay, step one. Prepare. Grab yourself a video, grab a logo, animation, text, or any media of your choice. Now, I didn't make like a little animation, you know, like when they're like, oh, here I am, and they've got the little wave point thing bouncing down. Didn't make any of those, which is why I was asking for the shapes beforehand. So for those watching the VOD, you can pause, grab your stuff, or maybe make something as well along with us, and then we can follow along. It's like a squash square. Is a squash square? Jacob said, great advice to always start on a small project first. Oh, yes. Oh, Jacob, I've made the mistake. I've made the mistake of not doing that. We actually have two videos here. We've got our Pokemon one, and we've got the Sunstorm one. That's Storm right there. And because I don't have the shape, we've got a circle. What's a circle? Of course, Oliver. Now that I see whose name it is. Of course, that's you, Oliver. I'm not suggesting shapes anymore. I get told off for suggesting complicated work. I mean, I can make it purple for you, though. I can make it purple. Okay, we'll have purple because Oliver knows not to give me a wild one. But we did make it, though. Let's not forget. So we've got a star. What color is the star? I'll take the circle. We've got to keep Oliver in here somehow. It's a me, Stormio. Right, so for the star, we actually already have a star shape. So we've got this. We'll plunk it above Sis's head. There we go. Bam. We could stick text in there as well, should we? Oh, is it literally just a squashed square? Okay, we'll do the squash square on the next one. I feel like we will have time. I've got my star. Let's fill it in. Okay. White is fine. I'll have a purple circle. Oh, that kind of rhymes, doesn't it? Left click and hold. Let's change this to a purple. Why? Because we still love Oliver. There we go. That's not a circle. There we go. I haven't forgot about the rhombus. I feel like this really doesn't take too long, so I think we can probably get them all done. I don't know why these shapes are so big. We can make them smaller, but I'm not going to. I think I'm just going to complain about it. Let me make the stroke maybe similar size. There we go. With the corners poking out. Okay, so is it a square or a rectangle? The time is a lie. You ran out of time. No! No. Okay. Right. So we've got our shapes. If we want, we could add extra stuff on top. We could animate them. We could do all that jazz. But I'll let you do that. I'll do pixie circle. Yeah. You know, I told sis that before she went on. I told her. More like a rectangle, a squish. Okay. So if we're talking like this, yeah, we got a rectangle. Is it like that? It's half a rectangle. Is that what we're saying? I never want to call it a rum or a rhombus again. It's a squash square. No. I want the real name. You've done me a service. Thank you. A rhombus. Like, come on. Let it roll off the tongue. That's cool. Right. That was step 1. Nice. Talk about step 2. Tracking motion. Yay. Only 2 steps. Quite simple, this one. So this will be really, really fun. I thought I was okay. Yeah, no. It's okay, I'm gonna show you how there's a way that you can see, you know, on your computer it's got the clock, hour and the minute. There's a way that you can see like the milliseconds. That's really helpful. Trust me, we've all gotten the ban hammer getting thrown, so I understand. Right, so next part, we're going to make ourselves a null. Several ways you can do this, but for now, let's right click, go to new and create a null. You could call it whatever you want, place it wherever you want, doesn't really matter. So fun and bouncy. Oh yes. Oh my goodness, Penny. So many, you know what? I feel like that's my thing. Like even when we do the animation 101 stuff, everything's really, really bouncy. Okay, we've got our null. You want to click on the video that you want to track the motion of. That's this one for us. And if you've got your properties and things open on the right hand side above my head, you should see something that says track motion. If not, go up, click animation and click track motion. You'll be greeted with a little box on the side, tells us the motion source, which is the video we want. The tracker, probably because I've done a few on this After Effects while it's open, so it might say a different number. That's fine. We're going for transform at the moment. There are other things that you can do in here. Stabilizing is really cool. I think you might notice it when like people are doing like a interesting movement and it just stays on one thing. It's very cool. But for now, we're doing transform and we're focusing on position and we're going to edit the target. So click edit target and you want to go to the null. Now the null is an empty driver, something that allows us to maybe put all of our work onto it and then just casually parent other things to it. In the long run, it makes things very clean and gives you way more control than just sticking it on the main stuff. Okay, now let's break down what this is. We've got our tracking points. We've got 3 different parts. We've got the plus sign, which is our attach point, so we can tell it where we want to attach to. It's easier if you grab something that's high contrasting. So I feel like this hair is probably the best thing to go for at the moment. We've also got, let me just grab the whole box really. Whoop. We've got the middle box or the tiny box, which is our feature region. It defines what area is to be tracked. So you want to stick whatever is being tracked by the little plus. You want the square to kind of be around it, which I feel like it is. And then the big box is the search region, which tells After Effects where to scan for the small box. So the big box is looking for the small box and the small box is looking for the X. So you'll find a good placement for all of your stuff to make it work a little bit better. Oh, Jess, hello. Oh, hi, Keys. By the way, I know you, Pixie, only from replays. Oh, Jess, thank you so much for watching the replays. So now I have the live chat chance. Oh, welcome on in. And thank you so much for joining the live chats. And thank you for your rhombus. Giving me a new word. Trust, I'm going to walk around and annoy my family. I'm going to be saying rhombus at least 4 more times today. I love it. Thank you so much. I've got the infinity glasses. It's nice. I tell you, can never seem to find them in like a normal store. You always got to go online for the ting, hey. Okay, so we've got the area, we've got the thing. What do we do now? We've got the analyze button underneath. We can either click play forward, where it's going to make a keyframe for each part going forward. click it to go backwards. We could do one at a time. So if I click this on the right, it's going to do one at a time, but I'm going to press play. I feel like it should be able to do this. And if not, we can definitely double check and make sure that it's all right. Claire! Oh my goodness! Hi, Claire, how are you? Oh, I hope you're well. How are you, Claire? So when I say pick a short clip, this is why. This is about 6 seconds long. And if you're just trying things out, maybe 5 seconds. Now, if we scroll back through, we can see that we've got dots in the areas where things are happening. Claire's big VIP. Oh, yes. We can see that it's definitely doing a thing. That's great. We want to apply it now so it actually takes the keyframes that it's made. If you want to see the keyframes, very, very cool stuff. Let's open this out. Look at all those keyframes. This is something that we could do manually, but the computer did it for us, so we don't need to. That's the way we like it. So make sure that you've got your null as your motion target. If you haven't, click edit target, make sure null selected, then click apply. Is my head blocking it? No. Click, wait, is it? No. Click apply. So you've got X and Y, and I'll teach you a cool thing. Oh, hello, Atif. Welcome, lovely. Hope you're having a lovely, what day is it? I hope you're having a lovely Monday today. Doing well. Happy to be learning from you today. Oh, Claire. Thank you. And thank you for everything. So I'll teach you something that my 3D teachers taught me back in the day, which has been one of the main things that have stuck with me forever. When you're trying to work out what X and Y means, you can use your hands. Stick your thumb out to the side and your index finger up. X, Y. This way we know where X is and we know where Y is. Very, very useful this way. So by looking at what's happening, Storm's only moving in the Y. We don't really need the X, but for the sake of ease, I'm going to keep the X and the Y on. Y we could do, X we could do if it's absolutely only going in one place, but it might be easier for you to just click on X and Y. We'll click on OK. Here we are. And now if we take a look at our null, and I'm pushing the letter U on the keyboard, when you click U, it will highlight everything that actually has keyframes on it, which is lovely. So we don't really need to track anything. We can zoom in and see all of the keyframes. We can see that it's moving with Storm's head. Amazing. And all we simply have to do now is connect. Well, they're both moving at the same time, so we don't even have to do it again. Awesome. Grab the parent pick whip, grab it to the null, and let it rip. Ta-da! Boop, 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 boop. Hey. And we have time. We can do the other one too. It's cool. Also, X is across. Wait, Oliver, you Olivering. Watch me take a long time to work out the joke in there. Wait, so for your new favorite annoy my family word, Pixie, rhombus is a more squashed square, while a parallelogram, oh my gosh, look at these words. Hold on, rhombus, parallelogram is a squashed rectangle. Oh my gosh, I love it. Hi, Otaku, welcome on in. Oh, this was really cool, and it didn't take a long time at all. Nice. Should we do the second one? The more tricky one. It's not tricky. Let's go to our second one. If you have another piece of footage that you want to try this on, let's do it. Also, I have a tip. If you have a piece that you're trying to track and it can't see it because it really works better in high contrasting areas, I was thinking of a troubleshoot, and I do have a troubleshoot for you. What you could do is, let's say, maybe get your video. I'm pretty sure you could, no. You're gonna want to render out the video again. You might be like, oh, okay, well, change the contrast of the video that you've got in here. You could duplicate it, add brightness, contrast, then do the tracking motion. But the problem is that the tracking motion attribute returns the footage back to its default, which means that you've lost all the stuff that you had done. So if you're having a hard time tracking something in particular, grab the video that you want, do all that wonderful goodness, and maybe, let's say if I only wanted to track my nose, I don't know, this part, maybe I couldn't really see it that well. What I would do a big contrast thing, maybe do a mask around my nose, and then render it and put it into After Effects. That way, compared to everything else, all the video is going to move at the same time, but compared to everything else, that bit is going to be such a contrast to everything else, it can't mistake it. So that kind of thing. Troubleshooting. Oh, the crew over here. Oh, yes. Emma, hello. Thank you for wobbling over to the Behance side. Key says not just useful in 3D, but geometry and calculus. That's where it comes from. Yes, of course. Oh, my goodness. See, I love when it all comes together. Yeah, I went to YouTube first. Oh, I mean, it's lovely having you in both places. For those that don't know, on YouTube, we are on the Behance as well. So, you know, it's lovely to have you. So we've got our video. We need to do the rhombus. And what was the parallelogram? I'm literally gonna take a screenshot. Hold on. Let me take a screenshot. I want to take a screenshot on my computer, but it's gonna pause it for a second, and that's not good. Is a squashed rectangle. I'm totally taking a picture. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we're going for the rhombus. Is a squashed square. Okay. So we've got our image. Let's get a squashed square. Ooh. I've got that. That's not a square. It says rectangle tool, but you know, rectangle's a square if you try. Let's go for white, similar to the example that I had over there. Oh, this is on full. No wonder it's being like, what you doing? If your After Effects may be running a tiny bit slowly while you're doing this, check what your preview state is on. Mine was on full and it didn't need to be. Okay, so that's more like a rectangle, right? Is this a rhombus? Do we have a rhombus here? Is this the one? Okay, let's also add a stroke. I'm looking for a name, but I don't think we need one. Box one. Box one. Add a stroke. Do we need a name? Oh, I'm going to teach you something else kind of cool, actually. A diamond shape is a rhombus. Oh, is it? All sides equal length and opposite corners equal. Oh my gosh. So this is not a rhombus. So like this and like that. I know it looks a bit funky, but like this and like that. This is a rhombus. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, thank you. So let me change the stroke. Let's put the stroke on. And I have something that I think might be kind of, no. Let's do it in another way. Let's say that you wanted to do a fake drop shadow for this. What we could do is simply open up the area, open the contents, copy and paste the rectangle, or copy and paste the stroke. It doesn't want to do it. So I'm going to duplicate the box. Grab the contents of the rectangle. Oh, you know what? It's because I was pushing the wrong buttons. Control D. I think I'm thinking of Photoshop. Control D. Now I've got two rectangles in one, which means it's a lot cleaner for me to work with. I'm going to change the color to something slightly darker. And now, if I move it out, we can see that I've got my kind of drop shadow effect while still keeping it quite nice and clean. Okay, let's boogie along, shall we? We could stick a name on this. We could totally stick a name on this. Here we go. I don't know. Oh, is my text white? Yep. I don't know why, but lately my text is always the same color as whatever the background is, which is a very ironic coincidence. I don't think we're going to be able to fit all those letters in, you know. PKMN. Cool. Too big. Let's make it slightly smaller. I'm learning new things today. Also, I haven't heard parallelogram in a very long time. Okay, we got this. I'm just going to connect them together. So, whoops, wherever the box goes. Cool. So I'm going to do a little bit of trickery. I'm going to have this null object. It's going to be my holder. Pokemon goes to the, wait, let's see. Does it? I'm going to have the holder go to the box. It might still do it. Oh, that's okay. We'll find out. And then the Pokemon to the holder. Will it mess it? It will. I can flip it back though. Not this. Not this. I have an idea. Not necessarily what I wanted to do. Oh, no. No. Okay, so wait. No. No. I want to keep it clean. I think I'm just going to put them in a comp. Let's do it. In a comp. The thing. There we go. Lovely. They're together and it's not changing anything. Okay. So we've got Pokemon right here. Got about 5 minutes. We can do this in it. So the next step is to make sure it's got something to follow to. Plus, this video's got a little quirk in it, so we can work out how to do that too. Let me make my first null. It's called null 5. You should name it, but I'll leave it for now. We can see there's only one null here. That's all right. We're going to click on the main video. We'll go to track motion. And I want it to track the Pokeball. So, whoops. If we click and drag over to the button of the Pokeball, we've got our main focus. We want the middle square, the little square to focus on what the X is focusing on. We want the big square to focus on what the tiny square is focusing on, preferably. Do its best. We're on transform, position, and we want to make sure it's tracking the null. And let's hit, oh, I moved it. Starts from about here. Let's click play. See it do its thing. Hey, this is so cool. This is super cool. And thankfully, because it's so contrasty, it's doing a good job. And right there, because I forgot earlier that this video actually was cut. This was for one of my Skillshare things. The cut must have been explaining something. I think it was about joints and space and all of that jazz. So because it's been a straight cut, we can just redo this for the other half. So let's go in, see where the cut happens. Hold Control Shift and D to slice it off. And we can just put our thing on it or track the thing twice. Chill. So we're happy with this. I think it's all right. Seems to move in the right space. We'll click apply because it's on the right null. I'll do X and Y because it's absolutely moving there. And if we open our null, press the U, you can see where it starts from. Make sure that our thing is where we want it to be. No wonder it looks like you changed your hair and clothes so fast. Oh yeah. Yeah, no. I think this is like from last year. I still need to finish this video. Oh, the busyness has been busy in. It's not from today. Absolutely not. No. Oh, and let's parent it to the null. But we know that it only lasts from there to there. So I'm going to split this up. We'll take a look at what we've done. Ta-da! Hey. All right. But we're looking at this other part. We've got 2 minutes, maybe. Couldn't find the emoji with a rhombus, but with a diamond. That's really cool, Pixie. Track magnet. It's so cool. And then you can add a little bit of a spin to it. Now, this needs a little bit of help. We'll call this 6. We'll do it again. Also, if you hold Control and press the bracket keys, it moves your thingy up and down for you, which is super useful. Let's do this very last bit. We're going to track this last end. I'm going to grab this track point. I don't know why I did it like that. And I want it to track the square again, whatever the little button thing. Okay. Need to make sure that it's on null 6. Click the play. Now, the last cool thing that you can do, make sure we apply it to the right one, which I guess we did. Great. The last thing that we can do, after I make sure this is on the right one, it is crate or great? Good question. If you go and turn on your 3D layer, we can go to the rotation. I think it's rotation Y. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to make sure I put down a keyframe so I know where it's supposed to be. And when do I want it to turn back? About here. But until then, I want it to be facing, whoops, this way. So now it kind of looks like AR. You know, augmented reality. Okay, let's take a look from the top. And it's not seen then, so to start off, we could just do a quick opacity. Maybe 0, just for the sake of speed instead of me animating something. You know how it is when we get in. Well, I know, it's so cool. Okay, here we go. Okay. She says, here it goes, here it goes, here it goes. I feel like we're not going to be able to see it. I'm so sorry. But you saw what I was doing. You saw what I was doing. Apparently it wants a break. My computer's been on for like 2 days. We're going to say that that's probably what it is. You know what I was trying to do. But I highly suggest that once you try your motion tracking, use the 3D elements that you have as well to actually do a little bit more with it. So you could see that it was actually going to make it look like it was facing the other side to match the object that we were attached to, which is super duper cool. But I hope you enjoyed this pro tips. If it starts to play before I go, trust me, I'll show it. But thank you very much. Yeah, you know, Oliver, you get that gist. It's all fine. It's good. But I hope you enjoyed today. Thank you very much for joining in on the motion tracking pro tips. Stay tuned because I'm sure, as always, there's more wonderful goodness coming up on Adobe Live. See you later. It did the thing real quick. Yeah, it did. Thank you so much. Bye.